if you're into high-tech woodworking, if you want to bring your game up to the next level, we're here with Ed Fiantaca from Accurate Technology, here to tell us about his new product.
Well, Accurate Technology has been making a product called ProScale for 15 years now. And our primary industry is the woodworking industry, and this product was developed by the founder of Accurate Technology 15 years ago. Since then, we've been developing products to make woodworkers more accurate, more repeatable, and more productive.
Sounds like you designed these series of devices for the more of the commercial side of it. Is this something that can be used by the average woodworker?
Yeah, we have two divisions in the company. One is called our ProScale division, and that is for commercial woodworking, and the other side is our Digi products, and those are designed for the small shops, single shops, and the high-end consumers.
Ed, tell us how the product works.
Well, it's pretty simple. Most times in a woodworking machine or a woodworking environment, you're setting tooling or setting a fence or you're measuring a part to be cut. And what our system does is it allows you to adapt the tool that you're working with without changing the basic function of that tool, and giving you a digital readout either in decimal inches, in fractions, or in millimeters. So whatever measuring system you're comfortable with, we can give it to you.
What kind of tools do you use it on?
We use it for table saws, for stop and fence systems, for cutoff or miter saws. We have systems that go on router lifts. We have systems in our commercial division that go on commercial machines such as molders. We have quality control products. And basically we still sell our general purpose measuring systems for anyone who wants to adapt a machine or build an application that needs linear digital measuring.
Is it something that the average woodworker, the average weekend warrior is going to be able to use? To me, it looks a little bit intimidating. Computerized technology, digital technology. Is it something that I'm going to be able to adapt to my woodworking needs?
Well, Shane, if you can use a screwdriver and a drill, you can put our system on. If you can use your finger to push a button, you can read any of the measurement systems that I described earlier. So yes, it is very easy. And for instance, on a table saw application, it takes the average person about 35 or 40 minutes to install the system and about 30 seconds to calibrate it. And really, when you're talking about making cuts in woodworking, the ability to go back a week later, 2 weeks later, a month later, either yourself or someone else in the shop, and make the same cut exactly the same size, we're talking about repeatability. And so to have repeatability to a thousandth of an inch is important. Our device will display in thousandths of an inch or hundredth of a millimeter, or in fractions in 30 seconds or 64ths of an inch.
I see how it works on the table saw, but you've also got it on a router. Is it required for the person to use this thing to buy a special router table? Can they put it on their own router table?
Well, actually, we have several kits that are available that fit many of the major router lift systems. It's a very simple to install kit. This one actually only took us about 10 minutes to install once we got here at the show. And instead of measuring the distance from the blade, in this case we're measuring the height of a router bit. And once again, it comes down to repeatability. If you've got a profile that you've made before and you want to come back to that profile and be very exact, you can dial it in to a thousandth of an inch and repeat that profile very, very easily.
Ed, these are your basic commercial products. What do they do?
Well, these are our general purpose measuring systems. All of the products that we build are based on this general purpose technology.
How accurate is this thing?
This device is accurate to 10 thousandths of an inch overall. On a short range, it's actually accurate to 2 thousandths of an inch. This is a device that we call a cutter head setup and measuring stand. And it's used to measure and set up the cutting knives on a machine that's called a molder. If you look around your house, you'll see molding around your windows, molding around your doors, molding around your cabinet tops. All of that wood molding is produced by a machine called a molder. And that molder has several knives on it, which we're looking at one, and we're looking at the geometry of that knife. We need to know what the radius is. We need to know how large the knife is. We need to know where the little points on the knife are that creates the detail on the molding. What the device does is it allows us to measure the knives that are on that molding machine that create the actual profile on the molding that you see around your doors and windows.
So accuracy measuring device. This helps you set up the knives so that your molding comes out smooth.
Right, exactly. And again, we come back to that repeatability thing. If the molder has run a run of molding, for instance, and you've gone and they've sold it, to come back 6 months later and create the exact same molding is pretty tough. So you've got to be very, very repeatable again. We keep coming back to that word repeatable. It's very accurate, but it's also repeatable, and that's important. This device will allow us to actually inspect the knives that are creating the profile of that molding.
For defects.
For defects, traditionally this system has been configured as what's called an optical comparator. And an optical comparator creates a shadow image for you. The shadow image is great for measuring details on that knife, but the shadow image doesn't really give you the ability to measure the grind or the knife for defects, for chips, for bluing, or anything of those nature that you can't see with a shadow.
Ed, if our viewers want to get in contact with Accurate Technology, how do they do that?
Well, there's several ways to reach us. First of all, our 800 number, 800-233-0580. Or you can look at either one of our websites. For the commercial side of our products, it would be www.proscale, that's PROSCALE.com. And for the consumer side for our products, you can find us at www.digi-kit.com.
Very well. Thank you very much, Ed.